We had a lot of agencies participate, a lot of lessons were learned, both on the first responder side and also with the local corporation, State Farm, that was involved in this.
Okay, let me get somebody to you.
I'm Major Oliver Flattered with the Dunwoody Police Department, and I was in charge of setting up an exercise, an active shooter exercise at the State Farm campus here in Dunwoody. It's very important because we never know when and where an active shooter event can happen. A lot of those are specifically occurring in workplace environments. It's not something that is a given, but it's always a possibility no matter where you work.
5 people in 14.
So State Farm had about 80 role players. These were in addition to the 10 that we brought that had all the injury patterns. Those role players were deployed in specific rooms, classrooms, to either be panicked employees to come out and run towards our officers, or they were hiders. And then we had some that were tasked with barricading so that they could rehearse that.
All right, let's do 4 more in here.
So the scenario was basically a single gunman coming in who was intent on killing his wife. The suspect in this case essentially walked into the building following other employees that were kind enough to hold the door open, which of course is a huge security breach, and then started taking people out. In this particular exercise, we had about 10 people that were severely wounded, and he ended up in one of the classrooms, and that's when the whole scenario started playing itself out.
Hands up! Put your hands up! Police coming in!
We invited our sister agencies to participate in this exercise. Those teams were set up to time release at specific time points to give it a little bit more reality. The initial team, for instance, was 3 Dunwoody police officers who responded to the building and then married up with a security officer. And from there, we started sending other contact teams in to start hunting down the suspect.
Two coming out! Two coming out! Two coming out!
There's a lot of stress. They basically go into a scenario with very limited information, a lot of dynamics with wounded people that were screaming and looked really bad. Another aspect of active shooter response is the utilization of rescue task forces, RTFs. So basically they are firefighter EMTs that are sandwiched between police officers providing lethal cover. So they can go into a hot zone with basic emergency supplies to stop the bleed and save people, stabilize people as much as they can, and then evacuate them out.
14?
I think there were a lot of lessons learned, both on the officer and firefighter EMS side, and also the corporate side. Every time we put police officers in a very realistic training scenario, they take that to heart. We always look for ways to improve our responses, and the only way to do that is through continuous exercises.